I'm Megan. I make video games for a living, most recently Skatebird. I work out of a barn just west from Seattle, over there in a little tiny town. I was actually born in Anchorage, Alaska, and then I moved to Colorado and then other stuff, and then I ended up here, which is, where I've been for a while and where I made Skatebird. I live in the woods. I mostly keep to myself lately, but I do travel some. Like, I'm not locked out here. When I do travel, I really prefer road trips. The other thing that gets me out and about, aside from hiking and that kind of thing, is I enjoy going to the movies, which again, COVID changed. But since I live in the middle of nowhere, we actually have a drive-in theater. Like, it's a legit drive-in theater, the kind that's been running since, I don't know, it's old. It's got the classic bumpers and everything, but it's weird. The concessions has like gluten-free stuff. Part of the reason I don't go to restaurants is I have a lot of food allergies, but the concessions at the weird little drive-in totally understands, and all of their stuff is available gluten-free if you want. Like, I can have anything I want. It's very weirdly fancy, even though it's salt of the earth, little itty beach town kind of drive-in. So the game I'm most known for is Skatebird, which is about a little bird that tries their best. I wanted to make a game that felt like you and your friends learning to skate together. Not being a pro, you don't know what you're doing. I wanted you to start in a situation where you could barely skateboard. And by the end, I wanted you to be able to do a couple of cool tricks. Now, that being said, the bird thing means there's a lot more jumping, and your a couple of cool tricks scales a little higher. By the end, you're doing essentially pro things. But I wanted the dream to be more what it's like to actually skateboard with your friends. And the goal was to create a game that was Summer Birdie and Tony Hawk and Skate, and that basically succeeded. Like, I had bugs, it was indie as hell, it was cheap, and it's imperfect, but like, the point of the art, the point of the scale I'm working at, is we make imperfect art, and that's part of what makes it fun. When it went really well, like, it did well. Like, it did well for us. I was able to pay off my house. Not much more than that. Like, I'm not rich, but I was able to do that, and that kind of change means that future games are easier for me so long as I keep within a very low cost ceiling. So it's me and my partner working on games now, and that's probably what will be forever. And hopefully we can stay stable doing it since, costs are low enough we can do that. If this were a larger studio, the amount of money we made at Skatebird would have been like a drop in the bucket, but thankfully we're tiny. So to us, it was like, oh, wow. My earliest gaming memories are with my grandma. And she played, I helped play all of the King's Quest, all of the Space Quest games. Then the King's Quest games, I started playing those on my own. So that was like my early, but also, so back then there were shareware catalogs, which is this big catalog of like a paragraph and a screenshot, and you would order discs in the mail. And a lot of those were very weird. Something in the adventure games or the shareware, I got the idea that I could do it myself, and there I am. I taught myself to program whenever I was 11, noting that I mean here like ultra basic C crap, like the most advanced game I made would have been a Russian roulette kind of thing. Like, that was basic. Then around 14, I got more heavily into it. That's where I started doing graphics programming. So I was doing like fire demos and little, a Galaga game was the most advanced thing I did. And then fast forward there, another, I don't know however many years, I kind of fell out of it after I left high school, and then got back into it in my early 20s, and that was where it really stuck. I picked back up the game stuff that I had dropped in my teens, and then actually got back into it and contributed to engines, and somewhere in there is whenever I started working on stuff on my own that was something that you might recognize as a game in modern terms, and that led to a first job and so on and so forth. Skatebird was a mess in part because it came from a messy prototype. Skateboarding with your friends is not a precise thing. It's a messy thing. It's a jiggly thing. It doesn't work well. And building it from there, you get this experience. So my thing isn't really the messiness, it's earnestness. It's earnest replication or earnest representation of an ideal, of whatever I'm working towards. That's more what I want to do in the future, which is a bunch of smaller, earnest experiences that are like, you're done in 4 hours. There's another 4 hours of optional stuff if you want. Move the hell on. As opposed to in direct conversation with AAA making 600-hour lifestyle games, game as a service. You're never going to play anything else. This is the game for you for the next race. Like, I'm done with those. Even if I could compete with them, I don't want to. I want to make exact opposite of that. But I'm trying to make the games in between that got lost in the transition from pure arcade to giant experiences. AAA didn't used to be 600-hour forever experiences. AAA used to be a concise experience. That's more what I'm trying to make.